My name is Jim Tate. I'm at the end of, heading towards the end of my career with 25 years in the Fort Worth Fire Department. I served as a battalion chief there for the last 11 years. I'm also the president of the Firefighters Association there. I've spent the better part of my career without access to collective bargaining. Looking back, even with just a preview of what collective bargaining can do in one agreement with the city, I think that a municipality without collective bargaining excuse me, is missing an opportunity to improve on the delivery of emergency services. In November of 2007, a majority of the citizens of Fort Worth voted to give us a right to collectively bargain with the city. We won the right to be treated with dignity, the right to have a meaningful say in how we protect ourselves and in how we protect the public. What we did not win is a right to break the back of the city budget or force the city to agree to anything it cannot afford. We still answer to the city council and to the city manager. The only difference is today that we're a key partner in how decisions are made. When we bargained with the city for the first time in the fall of 2008, we had one goal in mind: to protect safe staffing levels. I'm proud to report that we are close to ensuring that 4 firefighters will ride on every rig in line with national safety standards. I credit collective bargaining with making this goal reachable. It is almost impossible to understate what minimum staffing means to public safety. We are the foundation of this nation's homeland security. It has been well documented that minimum staffing both improves emergency response and protects the safety of the firefighters. I cannot tell you that collective bargaining single-handedly cured all the challenges that our department faced overnight, but it gives us a framework to address those challenges, and it certainly has changed the tone. It's opened a dialogue that's valuable to the firefighters I represent and to the taxpayers who pay my salary. If we achieve minimum staffing in our first agreement, I can only imagine what strides we can make in the next 10 to 20 years. My experience has been that collective bargaining is a guaranteed lifeline of communication that can be and should be put to use to improve the delivery of emergency services to protect firefighters and to protect the citizens alike. During our campaign for collective bargaining rights, our fellow citizens were flooded with misinformation about collective bargaining. They were told that their taxes would go through the roof. They were told that Texas is a right-to-work state and that firefighter collective bargaining wouldn't work. They were told that collective bargaining would drive out business and hamper growth. Every one of their attacks has proven false. In fact, one major fact that helped make the citizens' mind up, I believe, was the fact that every major city in Texas that already had collective bargaining had a lower tax rate than Fort Worth. The fact is, the cities in Texas with collective bargaining have in place some of the lowest tax rates in the state. Collective bargaining and right to work can and do live side by side. Our department and the other 21 departments in Texas with collective bargaining rights can attest that a basic collective bargaining system can thrive in a right-to-work environment. We also heard that collective bargaining would force Fort Worth to accept agreements it cannot afford. The only thing that the Fort Worth law and the bill the subcommittee is studying today mandates is a forum to talk through issues important to the firefighters and to the city. The city maintains full control over its budget, make no mistake. Although Fort Worth has not seen some of the budget pains that other cities have, I can tell you that we would adjust our request to the cities in regard to those budget realities and offer ideas geared towards those limits. Just like our brothers and sisters across the country have done, giving up guaranteed pay raises to make sure that they don't have to close fire companies. We'll always work with the city to solve those problems because we're all in the same boat. The bottom line to me is that collective bargaining is a process that solves problems, gives a measure of dignity and fairness to public safety officers. Collective bargaining may not give us all the answers, but at a minimum, it puts our community and our nation on the best path to reach them. What the Fort Worth firefighters asked for in 2007 and what this bill asked for is one and the same: an opportunity to talk through issues that affect all of us. It gives states and cities the flexibility to get on their own and in their own way. Thank you again for asking me to testify. I'll be glad to answer any questions.